To drama in River State, as the River State House of Assembly has commenced impeachment proceedings against the River State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara. At a plenary on Thursday, Majority Leader of the House, Honorable Major Jack, brought to the attention of the Speaker a notice of gross misconduct against the Governor. Relying on Section 188 of the Constitution, the lawmaker reeled out 7 points of gross misconduct against Governor Fubara. Some of the accusations include spending funds without budgetary approval, the demolition of the Assembly complex, extra budgetary spending, withholding funds meant for the Assembly Service Commission, and refusal to obey the Supreme Court on the financial autonomy of the House. The Deputy Leader, Honourable Linda Stewart, also brought forward a notice of gross misconduct against the Deputy Governor, that's Professor Ngozi Odu. 26 members of the River State House of Assembly signed the notice, which they alleged was against the Nigerian Constitution. Amaule said the notice will be served to Fubara in the next 7 days, while the plenary session has been adjourned to the 15th day of January 2026. Residents await the unfolding political scenario in the coming days.
Mr. Speaker, we conclude by stating that the governor has shown that he is not prepared to govern River State in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, and his oath of office. The Supreme Court, in suit number SC/CV/1174/2004, condemned his actions when he stated that the 8th respondent fear of impeachment by the River State House of Assembly is no justification for his attack on the House of Assembly. The Constitution, the government of River State, and the rule of law. Political disagreement cannot justify this attack and contempt for the rule of law by the governor of River State or any person.
The Majority Leader has just laid before the House the notice of allegations of gross misconduct brought pursuant to Section 188 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended 1999, and this particular letter was signed by 26 members of the River State House of Assembly, which the Majority Leader has read their names. Distinguished colleagues, I am now in receipt of this letter, and pursuant to the sections of the 1999 Constitution as amended, I will ensure that this letter is forwarded to His Excellencies Siminalayi Fubara, GSSRS, Governor of River State.
Well, meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress in River State has rejected the impeachment proceedings commenced by the River State House of Assembly against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu, warning that the move could further harm the state's fragile political environment. In a statement signed by the party's spokesperson, Darlington Nwauju, on Thursday, the APC said it was alarmed by the development in the Assembly and described the resort to impeachment as untenable. It urged lawmakers, particularly APC members in the Assembly, to resist what it described as external pressures aimed at undermining the state government. It added that the party would take steps to prevent internal disagreements from disrupting governance in River State and cautioned lawmakers against external interference to destabilize the Fubara administration.
I think those that say, let both parties sit and make peace, I think that's a jaded argument, and I knock that argument out real quickly. Is it today Wike and Fubara have been sitting down to talk peace? Do you know how many pieces that have been drawn up? Nothing. It's not going to work. All this idea of, let the elders, what are the elders going to do? No, people, they're not going to listen to what is happening. So what is happening reminds me of a gambit in a game of chess. Originally from the Italian word gambito, where it talks about you setting up a plan for somebody to trick. And Fubara was the first to play that gambit by joining the APC to be able to nullify the powers of Wike. The reason why Fubara probably made that decision was because even after the so-called peace deal, and that's why I'm against the state of emergency by President Tinubu, but anyway, he did it to give himself options. He wanted political options, that's why he did it. So after the state of emergency that you thought both of them were at peace, they were saying kumbaya, but the fight still went on. So Fubara felt, let me join the APC to be able to protect myself. This conversation we're having today is easier because if he was in the APC, if he was in the PDP, then you will not hear the APC saying, oh, this is not good. It's not going to be like an internal civil war. So Fubara won the first leg of the gambit. And that's why I was talking about 200 for President Tinubu, 0 for Wike. But now, Wike has also played a gambit. By saying despite joining the APC, it does not insulate you from that impeachment. I can still go ahead and impeach you. And this is an indication that, hey, if you do not cooperate, I will go for your jugular. So today now they are at parity. But the interesting part of this game is there will be scenarios that will settle it out. And that's why the person we have not heard from will be the one to take the decisive blow. And that's President Tinubu. So I'll give you three scenarios President Tinubu can do. The first one is a light attack. The light attack means merry-go-round, see both of them, talk to them in Abuja. It's not going to solve anything. There's still going to be that supremacy battle. Fubara will say he's governor. Wike will say I'm political godfather. It's not going to solve anything. We've done that. We've always done the light attack. The medium attack is to go one step further. Get the political party, get the architecture of the APC to be able to whip Wike in line. But Wike is not a member of their political party. So they are still going to go around, and the light and medium attack is pretty much the same. But the heavy attack will be President Tinubu removing Wike from that position he is. How is he going to probably do it? He might want to do it in a way so that people will not think that it's from him. So probably he might call a cabinet reshuffle. And some people do not come back. And when you look at that, to a large extent, that might be a final solution to this problem. Because as long as you have these two men in a position of power, there will be contentions. And that's why there have been contentions. But if the balance of scale of power changes, one has power and the other one doesn't have power, it's easier to resolve. Because when you look at it, Wike is not somebody that fights and backs down until he gets what he wants. The same Wike that prevented Atiku Abubakar from campaigning, the candidate of his own political party in his state for presidency. The same Wike that went against them because things didn't work in his favor. As long as he still has a position of power, and Fubara has a position of power as governor in the state, there's going to be contention. The question will be, will President Tinubu be ready to take the heavy attack method? Time will tell. Will he want to build his political time before he takes that measure? Time will tell. Because you see, the premise at which Wike fights today, apart from owning the political structure, is because he also has an element of state backing, which is because he's a minister. If he loses that, the matter becomes easy. Secondly, let me also spin that scenario. Or probably if President Tinubu wants to go with Wike, then he might say, okay, let's open the cannons and allow Fubara be removed. But if that happens, it's also bad for President Tinubu because it's a big indictment on the APC. And it will show other governors that those that are running to the APC for refuge, you might not be able to get it, he might not speak for you. So most likely, we have gotten to the point, those conversations, meeting with them will not work. It is the time for the heavy attack. Will President Tinubu be courageous enough to have a cabinet reshuffle and say someone like Wike goes to settle this river conundrum, or still tries to work with Wike against Fubara, or pit it out with time? Time will tell.